Welcome back to Rust Reality Recaps. This is going to be another Meghan Markle rant, so if you usually tune in for 90 Day Fiancé and this is of no interest of you, my apologies, and you can tune out and I will understand. For those of you that actually have an interest in this, keep your ears open because the audacity on this one, I almost spat out my drink. Meghan Markle is reportedly joining Prince Harry at Invictus Games in Vancouver in February of this year. She hasn't seemed to got the memo that people don't want to see her and her crappy projects. There's been backlash after backlash after backlash in 2024, and with her new premiering show With Love Meghan, it was postponed from January until March, and she claimed it was due to the LA fires, but we all know it was to make improvements and because of the record-breaking dislikes that were reported on the Netflix YouTube page. Somewhere around 180 dislikes to 16 or 18,000 likes. And apparently, because of the backlash of the wildfire stunts, check out my video talking about that, she's gone into hermit mode because she wants to lick her wounds because nobody likes her and nobody appreciates her. So then why is she just going to come up to Canada and act like nothing's happened? We're paying attention up here too. So anyway, this article talks about how they want to make Invictus a legacy for their children to one day continue. That's if their children even exist or if they ever see the light of day. So I wonder if they'll actually bring their children to this event, because it's really weird. They're always attending these family-friendly events and they don't bring their kids. They just get photo ops with other people's kids. It is said that Prince Harry hopes to instill a love of the initiative in their kids from an early age, as it was his and Meghan's idea to make the event as family-friendly as possible. A patronage will one day be passed to Archie, so the foundation can be kept within the family. See, I don't see that as a reality because I think Invictus Games is getting frustrated with these two, making it all about Meghan and her fashion show. How much of the money that is donated that's supposed to go to the veterans in the games goes to her, her outfits, and their travel and security? That's also what I think goes on with Archwell Foundation, but that's my personal conspiracy theory. Allegedly. Do your own research. Okay guys, buckle up because this is the meat and potatoes of the video. Canada refuses Meghan Markle's $500,000 request for new outfits ahead of upcoming IG events. So this is for Invictus Games, I'm assuming. It seems Meghan Markle's penchant for extravagant fashion has once again put her in hot water, this time with Canadian officials. Reports indicate that Meghan, who is known for her high-end designer wardrobe, made an outstanding request for $500,000 worth of new outfits ahead of the upcoming Invictus Games in Canada. However, Canadian authorities reportedly turned down her request, refusing to fund her lavish spending spree. Thank God! Finally, our government did something right. Anyway, this development has sparked questions about Meghan's priorities and her apparent disconnect with public sentiment. Meghan has often positioned herself as a humanitarian and advocate for social causes, but her actions frequently send a different message. The Invictus Games, founded by Prince Harry to support wounded veterans, is meant to showcase the resilience, courage, and spirit of those who have served their country. Yet Meghan seems to view the event as another opportunity for a high-fashion spectacle rather than focusing on the true purpose of the Games. And spectacle is definitely the right word. Have we seen her ridiculous red dress? I think that's the only thing that she's ever re-worn. Anyway, according to sources, Meghan submitted a long list of designer outfits, complete with luxury accessories, demanding a hefty budget to ensure she would dazzle at every occasion. Canadian officials, however, were unimpressed. I'm freaking unimpressed. I can't afford to eat, and this bitch wants $500,000 for her freaking clothes, and she always looks tacky and cheap anyway. Everything's always wrinkled and sweaty anyway. Her gold looks like costume jewelry. Anyway, this refusal highlights growing frustration with Meghan's perceived entitlement and her tendency to exploit high-profile events to enhance her personal Many Canadians still recall the controversy surrounding Harry and Meghan's brief stay in Canada before their move to California, during which security costs became a point of contention. Now Meghan's latest request has reignited public frustration, with many questioning why she feels entitled to such privileges. Well, it's true. They lived on Vancouver Island and nobody cared. Nobody cared at all. They were panicking because they saw some boats coming around the island or near the home, the beach near the home that they were staying in. People ride their boats around all the time. If it was Paps, it was probably ones that she hired, because I'm telling you, no one in Canada cares. Anyway, what makes the situation even more perplexing is the apparent hypocrisy of it all. Meghan has often spoken out about sustainability and ethical fashion, yet she seems unable to re-wear expensive designer pieces. Remember the Dior gown that King Charles paid for? What'd she do with that? Many which were purchased during her time as a working royal. Yup. I think that she took all those expensive clothes that the royal family paid for and she resold them. I think that's what she does with all those clothes. That's just my opinion. Anyway, her wardrobe, reportedly worth millions, is filled with high-end couture, yet she insists on acquiring even more. Look at Princess Kate, who just rocks it in a 22-pound dress. Isn't she wonderful? And she actually does rewear and repurpose things. Anyway, where was I? If Meghan truly supported the values of the Invictus Games, she would understand that the focus should be on the veterans, not her wardrobe. Instead, her insistence on securing $500,000 worth of new outfits only reinforces the perception that she prioritizes image over substance. Public reaction has been swift and unforgiving. Yeah, this entire year of 2025, everything she's done has been scrutinized and met with backlash. I don't know why she keeps doing it. Social media is buzzing with criticisms, with many Canadians expressing outrage over Meghan's audacity, myself being one of them. Critics argue that the money she requested could have been better spent on initiatives that benefit veterans rather than indulging her obsession with designer labels. Others have pointed out that as a self-proclaimed independent woman, Meghan should be financing her own wardrobe instead of expecting external sources to foot the bill. Yup. The latest controversy is yet another example of Meghan's ongoing struggle to maintain relevance. With her popularity on the decline and her credibility under constant scrutiny, it seems she is once again relying on superficial optics rather than genuine substance. The Invictus Games were meant to be an inspiring event, but Meghan's attempt to turn it into personal fashion runway has spectacularly backfired. In the end, Canada's firm rejection of her request sends a clear message, as her demands will not be entertained and her extravagant lifestyle will not be funded at the expense of others. Thank God, because that would have been insane. I was already thinking that this whole event needs to be met with either protest or people just don't pay for tickets and they just don't go. If I could afford to buy a ticket and go and boo her, I would. Groceries are extremely expensive in Canada. Rent is extremely expensive here. Gas is really expensive. Canadians are struggling. It doesn't matter what demographic you're in. And she seems to think that we want to pay for her to have outfits to come here. We don't want her here. Go away. So everyone's already seen this. This is from Saint Meghan Markle on Reddit. And this is when this woman officially lost me, is this scene here when she marched in front of the veterans like some drunken tourist in her flip-flops and short shorts. Like an attention-seeking little kid, and absolutely no shame or embarrassment. You can hear the slow clap of confusion from the people watching, like, why is she leading them? She's never been in the military, she's never served, she has no reason to do that. Editing here. Wouldn't it be so funny if she came up here and we all booed and protested? But the problem is like Harry, she's going to use other guests as meat shields, such as Katy Perry, to avoid being booed, similar to what he did at the Pat Tilman Awards, just my opinion. It was so embarrassing. It's becoming more common knowledge of what a terrible person she is, as she allegedly screams at producers and the people she works with, and it's been alleged that she has been verbally and physically abusive towards Harry. And in that interview and many other interviews I've watched with him, you can see her mask slip with her facial expressions. And yeah, I don't know why she's trying to push this narrative that she's a wholesome, wonderful person, because she's horrible and we all hate her. Here's a PR move for your next rebrand, Meghan. Just be yourself. Be a horrible bitch. Treat everyone around you like crap. Kind of like how Donald Trump would fire people on his show. Play into it. People would like that a lot better. But don't forget to apologize to the royal family and atone for what you did to the late queen. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good day. Bye-bye.